Hello there, ShadowRock here to talk to you a bit about Mighty Gunvolt Burst. Now I know this video is going to be completely pointless very soon. In fact, Inti Creates has tweeted out that they're going to reveal their two Switch games at Bit Summit at 11 PM Eastern and 8 PM Pacific time. So before that happens, I wanted to discuss why Mighty Gunvolt Burst may actually be a sequel rather than an updated port. And yes, I'm about to attempt to figure out how a video game works based off of 3 seconds of video and a couple of screenshots. The absolute madman I am. First, let's look at the user interface. On the top left, there is your CP, which I'm assuming is your score? Or I would if I also didn't see a score count on the top middle of the screen. Huh, so what's CP then? Maybe it's currency you can pick up to use at a shop in between stages? That would be cool. Actually, while editing, I just figured out another possibility that sounds even more likely than the crazy idea I put out. CP could actually stand for combo points, and perhaps it's the points that you score from gaining burst combos. And then at the end of the stage, the CP would be added to your overall score to get your final score like in Mighty No. 9. Yeah, that sounds a lot more plausible. You also have a combo count on the top right corner to keep track of the new burst combo mechanic. Now I'm not sure what the 0-1 square is for, as it's present throughout everything we've seen except this one screenshot with Beck, where it is replaced by the icon for his buster. Not sure why Beck's buster icon is present there but not in the other screenshots, because Gunvolt has his skill displayed in his own shots, but it's in a different location. Maybe there's a power up you can pick up that makes you stronger, or it could be an attack you can use after chaining combos? Who knows, but that's the fun of it all. But speaking of the weapon icons, since there is space for multiple of them, maybe the characters will get different powers from defeating the bosses in the game, which would be a great addition as the original game didn't do that at all. Moving on, we have retries at the bottom left corner, which is very self-explanatory, it's your life count. Lastly, there's a timer at the bottom right corner. Judging from the footage, the timer counts up as you would expect. But looking at this screenshot, this player spent upwards of 20 minutes in this stage. Whoa, that's definitely longer than any of the stages in the original game. Of course, maybe that person left their game on for that amount of time while taking a break. Trust me, I do that all the time myself. Okay, gameplay time. Now one of the things that may point to this game being a sequel is not what is there, but what is absent from everything we've seen. And that is, where is Ekuro? She was in the original game, but she has yet to show up in any of the screenshots or footage here. And I doubt Inti Creates would miss the chance to show her off if she was in the game. So that leads me to think that this is a sequel centered around Azure Striker Gunvolt and Mighty No. 9. That isn't to say there won't be other characters either as unlockables or DLC, but this could very well be the focus of the game. Okay, let's talk about characters. Now first, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Yep, Lumen/Jewel is in the game, accompanying GB in his Gunvolt 2 suit. And she's even powering him up just like at the end of Gunvolt 1 and the beginning of Gunvolt 2. Unless there's a kudo system in place here, which is entirely possible. Now the Ring of Lightning attack here is interesting. It could either be his flash field or the Astrosphere skill. I think we can solve this mystery though. If you look at the top left corner of the game screen, we find that Gunvolt has his usual 3 SP bars. But do you notice something? A bar isn't used up while Gunvolt is using this attack. So it appears that this is indeed what his flash field looks like. Besides, Gunvolt stands still when he uses the Astrosphere, so it wouldn't make sense anyway. Beck on the other hand looks to be basically the same as before, just being the Mega Man clone that he was meant to be. Although I do believe his idle stance has changed a tiny bit, and I like it better. As for the stages, we have some more Mighty No. 9 inspired stages like No. 4's mining stage with Big Mick himself as the boss. We also have the intro stage boss from Mighty No. 9 to fight. There is also what looks like Copen's intro stage from Gunvolt 2. I wonder if Copen himself will show up in this game. The only stage that's hard to pinpoint what exactly it is this one with some dark red aesthetics that remind me a bit of Millis' stage from Gunvolt 2. But then you look at the water and realize there's fire on top of it. So then could it be the oil rig from Mighty No. 9 featuring Pyrogen? I have my doubts because Pyrogen was already featured in the original game. And considering the stages we've seen up to this point are not from the original game, it doesn't seem likely going off the assumption that this is a sequel. However, anything can happen. We're nearing the end here, but let's talk about some of the aesthetics of the game. Such as, the HP bars of the player character and bosses are completely different from the last time, and it honestly looks very clean. However, this game has gone under an even bigger graphical overhaul. If you look at the pretty lighting effects, the vibrant colors, and how even the backgrounds are animated, it's clear that this game no longer adheres to the 8-bit limitations like the original game did. Heck, when you compare the sprite work from this game to the original, it's actually a lot improved. This style is very similar to Blaster Master Zero, and I love how that game looks, so it's a very welcome style here. And now, we have finally reached the end. Overall, this game is definitely looking like a sequel to the original Mighty Gunvolt, and even better, it features upgrades both mechanically and visually. I'll even go far as to say I think this game will be even more fleshed out into a fuller game than the original that you could beat in like 30 minutes, and even saying that feels generous. But after listening to me ramble on for absolutely no reason at all, what do you think about the possibilities of Mighty Gunvolt Burst? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back once Inti Creates blows out their 2 Switch games at Bit Summit. Until then, rock on. Man, I'm gonna have a long night.